at your gear. Hey, good evening, my friends. How are you? Welcome to another edition of Wednesday Night Live from an undisclosed location in southern Michigan. And I have with me Bodie, a.k.a. Bob Bob. Hey, Bodie. Say hi. Bob Bob's with me. This is my boy right here. And he's being a good boy tonight, too, isn't he? Yeah. He's liking the music. He's jamming. Yeah. TJ, good evening. How are you? Craig, my brother, always a pleasure. Nice to have you along with us. Larry says, hey, Mike and young boy. Cool. Yeah, this is Bodie. There's Bodie with the big smile right there. Bodie, also called Bob Bob. Bob. Hey, Joe. How are you? JT, nice to have you along with us. Yes, and Bodie's with us too. He's my co-host tonight for as long as he decides he wants to be a good boy and join us. Oh, he wants to start playing with keyboard now. Anyway, thanks for joining me on this edition of Wednesday Night Live. I'm actually downstate at a secret location. I'm at my daughter and son-in-law's house, along with Bodie, Bob. Good evening, Chris. How are you? Paul, always a pleasure. JT, are you still fishing? Oh, look at him smiling. He's like, I like this. Yeah. Are you my co-host from now on, buddy? A lot of things to talk about tonight, including, of course, the new Mike Avery Outdoors Rapid River Knife. We're going to talk a little bit more about that tonight. Who's coming up on the radio show this week? I can't believe what a good boy he's being. JT's in Alaska right now. What are you doing in Alaska, JT? Linda, how are you? Hey, what do you think of my boy, Linda? Isn't he being a good boy? Yes, he's being a good boy. TJ says he loves the knife. I do as well. We've already sold like 20 of them, and we haven't even really officially opened up the website yet. Yeah. I could just sit here and cuddle him all night. If I ignore you guys for a while, just forgive me. I'm just cuddling him. Yeah. Linda says he's a cutie. He is a cutie, isn't he? All right. Is it time for you to go to bed, Bob? Ed says, is this the new two-person show? It might be. Time for Bob to go to bed? All right, buddy. Love you, buddy. What a good boy. Wasn't he a good boy? Did you get cool pictures? Oh, that's outstanding. Your 20th anniversary. Way to go, JT. Chris, Mike, the knife be a straight blade. Well, where is it? A straight blade, I'm not sure. Is it a straight blade? Yeah. Larry says he's already put his order in for his knife. Thank you for that. Brad says, hands full, love it. Yeah, he's such a good boy. I mean, I love all my grandkids, but having a new one, he's 10 months old now. How cool is that? Anyway, I appreciate the fact that I can be a little bit flexible and do a Wednesday Night Live from a secret downstate location tonight. So thank you for that. Looks like everything is copacetic. Looks like the signal's good. I'm assuming the audio is good. Randy, good evening. How are you? Hello, Jerry. Eric, thanks for joining me, Mike Avery, on this edition of Wednesday. Hey, Vance. Let me get a little closer there. Vance Gowell. I'm going to go out on a limb. It's not really going out on a limb. One of Michigan's premier elk guides right there, Vance Gowell. Heading out to do some evening elk scouting. Season is getting close. We should get you on the show here, Vance, pretty soon to talk about that. Bernie, good evening. How are you? Not a folding knife. Okay, so here's the deal. Deep in the recesses of my brain, and based on a suggestion that Chris Durson of Rapid River Knives has made, do not be surprised if there's an entire line of Mike Avery signature knives. If you go to rapidrivernifeworks.com, you can order one right now. I am going to bring this one up here with me, Rob. I'm heading up to White River next Thursday, a week from tomorrow, for my fall bear hunt with Ron St. Louis of Northern Wilderness Bear Outfitters. And yes, that knife will be in my pocket. Good evening, Joe. How are you? John, thanks for joining me. Jeff, they are. I'm real happy with the knives. I got to tell you, I'm very happy. I couldn't. I don't think they could have turned out any nicer. So thank you, Chris Durson, for that. Hey, Tony, my skinny water brother. Although I didn't spend a lot of time in that skinny water this summer, I think I made 3 or 4 passes through there, and then I headed out a little bit deeper. And by the way, did you? Yeah, no idea what you're seeing. Tim, did you see me in time to see my grandson Bodie? I call him Bob. If not, I would encourage you to go back and look at the live stream when we're done. That is Shelby's son, Bodie. Call him Bob. Matt, good evening, Mike. Frank's Great Outdoors celebrated 80 years this weekend. Great local family-owned business here in Linwood. Matt, that's outstanding. You know I am a huge fan of Michigan-based family-owned companies. I think Michigan-based family-owned companies are the backbone of our Michigan outdoor heritage here in our state. So congrats to everybody at Frank's. Congrats to the Gorski family. Great family. I have much respect for the Gorski family and the Poet family at Jay's Sporting Goods, of course, as well. Eric, good evening. How are you? Mike, look at you after 27 years of working the second shift, now on first and watch the lives from a couch chasing beers. Excellent. Good for you. Thank you, Linda. I appreciate that. They've got a very strong, very fast internet connection here, so I thought it would be a good signal. Mad Jack, how you doing, buddy? Hello, Tim. Thanks for joining me. The beavers in the pond, I haven't seen them. I guess in the back of my mind, I'm hoping maybe they moved on. I doubt if they did, TJ, but I haven't been looking for them as closely as I was when they first showed up. But you'll be the first guy I call if they start causing damage. Chris, don't put your order in yet for anything other than this knife right here, the Uper Pocket Clip. At this point, this is the only knife, and this is actually a prototype knife. This is my knife. The production knives, even though they're all handmade, I'm calling them production knives. My signature will be smaller, and this will say limited edition. And that's the only one we've got right now. Proceeds going to Outdoor Driven. We announced this on the radio show this weekend, and I kind of let the cat out of the bag today, and I see we sold like 18 knives today. Larry talking to his friends there. Saw him for just a second. Isn't he a cutie? Bernie, am I going to skin my bear with it? No, I will gut my bear with it. You know what? Actually, I don't know what I'll do. Maybe nothing other than cut the tag, because the thing up there hunting with Ron St. Louis, unlike Johnny Bowler, the bear whisperer, who made me gut my own bear after I dragged it a quarter mile out of the swamp uphill and then had to gut my own bear, Ron St. Louis doesn't even want you to gut him. They come out and help you get him back into town, or if you got enough guys with you can bring him back in yourself. And then, look what Bodie left. Bodie left his deer. They don't even want you to gut them. They'll bring them into the shack where they gut them and skin them for you. It's a very, very slick operation. The season starts the 15th. I'm going to go up there next Thursday, the 14th. Jim, good evening. How are you? Michael, always a pleasure. Joe says, I do not have this knife yet, but I have bought 5 others of the best knives in their opinion. They're very good knives. Guaranteed for life. They're very good knives. Gigi, how are things at the Lumberjack? Gigi, it looks like I'm going to join you September. What's the date for the Forward Corporation 100th anniversary celebration at your location, Gigi? I talked to Cody the other day, and I think I'm going to be there for that. I hope they moved on, TJ. I really do. Mike says, how are everybody's food plots looking? That's a good question. Have we had enough rain to get your food plots looking good? Jerry says, I hope to order one soon. Thank you. Steve, good evening, buddy. How are you? Steve, I think you need one of these. Right? The Mike Avery Signature Rapid River Knife. Now, the reason I'm pushing these so hard is because all of the proceeds go to a group called Outdoor Driven. Chris Durson of Rapid River isn't making any money on the knife. I'm not making a dime on the knife. The proceeds from the knife are going to Outdoor Driven, which is a Michigan-based group formed to get first responders and veterans on outdoor adventures to help them deal with the stress and trauma they've been subjected to. And I'm behind that 100%. Yeah, I had to uphill both ways. Yeah. Chris, beavers are not as active as they will be soon. They spend time with the family. Interesting. So, are we talking the same event here, Steve? The one at the Forward Corporation on Friday? I know what you're talking about. You'll be up in White River next Friday. Okay, we'll see you up there. Excellent. Looking forward to it. Hello, Lee. Chris, I don't know if we will have a non-folder available yet by Christmas. To be honest with you, I'll milk the snot out of this one, and we'll sell as many as we possibly can before we bring another one out. So I don't see one by Christmas. Thank you, Steve. Jim says, needs more rain. TJ says, can I ask why the signature is going to be smaller? I like the way it is now. I feel like it's too big. What are your thoughts? Should I have him make the signature smaller, or do you like the way it is? I mean, I'm being very egotistical here, but I just thought it was too big. I think it should be smaller. Anybody else have any thoughts on this? Love Rapid River knives. Everybody loves their Rapid River knives. I talked to Chris today, and they're actually starting to make them. Originally, he was talking the first week in September. I wouldn't doubt if you can get them a little bit earlier. All right, JT, have fun the way it is. Jeff says he likes the way it is. All right, JT, thank you, buddy. So what are the thoughts? Should we make the signature smaller, Joe, or should we make it, leave it the way it is? I mean, honestly, it's an egotistical move to have your signature put on a knife. I get that. But it's the Mike Avery signature knife, and the proceeds are going to a good cause. So, I don't know. I feel like that's a little bit big. You tell me. Chris says, I like what you have now. Michelle said the same thing. I was thinking it was too big. Vance says, I like the way it is now. You're not a lot of help. Larry says, looks fine to him. It is a sharp-looking knife, isn't it? Okay, some things to talk about now that Mr. Mr. Bodie. Well, I like it. Steve already ordered one. Thank you for that, Steve. Ed says he likes the way it is. Joe says he thinks it's perfect. Maybe I shoot Chris a last-minute text and say, leave it the way it is. Because most of you seem to like it, except for me and Michelle. TJ says, it's your knife. I'd leave it the way if it was. Kevin said he doesn't have his glasses on, so he can't tell. Lee says, there's a reason people buy a signature knife. Oh, good point. Bernie, planted alfalfa and food plots. They're doing great. The deer are loving it. Excellent. Brad says, outstanding. I got a trapper. TJ's all set, Chris, but I appreciate it. Eric says, it might be a little too big. A little smaller signature might be better. And what I told Chris, I said, make it just a touch smaller. So I think I will feel better if it's a touch smaller. So I think we'll probably go a touch smaller. Lake Michigan salmon right now. Lake Michigan salmon fishing on fire. Nick Grillo. Nick says, leave it as it is. I think it's awesome. Nick Grillo, of course, of Michigan Brand Meats, also works with Chris Durson of Rapid River Knives. Oh, speaking of this, okay, there is a Michigan Brand promo code, Mike20, to get 20% off on your order if you go to michiganbrand.net. Talking with Chris Durson today, just a reminder, you cannot use the Avery promo code to get your discount on the Avery signature knife. Because if we did that, there would be no profit on the top of it and nothing to give to the group outdoor given. So outdoor driven. So you can't use the promo code. Chris also discovered a problem in the way their website is set up, that we need to change the promo code at Rapid River from Avery 15 to Mike Avery 15. So in the future, if you order anything at Rapid River and you want to get 15% off, use the promo code Mike Avery 15. Ed says, just be happy it's not his signature. You need a bigger knife. Good point, Ed. Brad says, I see your Angler Quest is for sale. Are you getting it something different? Yeah, I'll get another Angler Quest next year. That boat was never mine. It is a loaner provided to me by the company, i.e. Mr. Angler Quest Brad Dupuis, for promotional purposes and to shoot video and, get social media exposure. Hey, Aditya. Okay. And I got it real late. And my fishing season's basically over now because, I was getting ready for the golf outing and now I'm getting ready for a bear hunt in White River, Ontario. So my summertime fishing season's over. So rather than have that boat sit at the dock and just have nothing happen with it, we're gonna sell it now, sell it a little bit early, and move on to something else. So I would fully expect that I will have another Angler Quest next year, but that's completely up to Brad Dupuis. Linda Barthel, who I met at the golf outing, who was a wonderful lady, as an EMT basic level trained member of the National Ski Patrol, I was really thrilled to support Outdoor Driven. In our work, we interact with many first responders. Bravo to the vets and first responders. And thank you. And Linda, other than me, I was actually the first person to order one of those knives to check out the website and make sure it worked, and you were the second one. Jason says, too big. First thing I noticed, the knife is what should be the main feature. Why in the hell would you have a Mike Avery signature on a knife anyway? All it does is interfere with the beauty of the knife. Avery, it's egotistical and narcissistic to have your signature put on a knife. Why would you do that? Eric says, salmon fishing is indeed on fire right now. Tim, there is a lifetime warranty on everything on that knife. Yes, there is tax on the knife, and yes, there is shipping. So the knife itself is $225. That's what the higher end Rapid River knives go for. My woolly mammoth handled knife is like a $500-600 knife, like you've got, Nick. That's an expensive knife. So that's $225 plus shipping and tax. Unless you go to the showroom and pick it up, then there's only tax. Elmer, see boats on Little Traverse Bay at daybreak up here chasing salmon. Hey, Jeff, you're a knife guy. Jeff Hammond, you are a knife guy. What do you think? And Jeff, this is the knife that we put together to raise money for first responders and vets through the group Outdoor Driven. All proceeds from this knife that you can order right now at rapidriverknifeworks.com will go to Outdoor Driven. What do you think of it, Jeff? This is a very deliberate design. Chris and I went back and forth many times. Blood red acrylic to signify passion, courage, commitment, and indeed bloodshed. Beautiful maple burl. I just think it's a beautiful knife, and I could not be happier. Chris says the Kansas Mike Avery food plot is looking awesome. Drop tine already in there. Oh, you're driving me crazy. I almost shot a drop tine in Kansas one time. He was coming into a ground blind in a big windstorm. I was sitting in an old Ameristep blind. Really, really windy. I mean, he was coming. I was ready to rock. Big 10-point with a drop tine. May even have been bigger. And then I got a really strong, especially strong gust of wind. It made the blind flap more than it was, and it scared him away. Dave, good evening. Linda says, no, leave the signature. That was kind of a little smart aleck joke of mine. Andrew Cumtis from Rapid River Knives, no, from Outdoor Driven, just texted me. Skinny Water was hot today. Tony Wint, did you hear that? Randy Iamurray, who is kind of a Skinny Water convert, said they were hot today. I'm glad to hear that, Randy. I really am. Otto says looks great. Wonderful night. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate that. Jim, good evening. Yes, Randy, you can go directly to the factory. You can go to the Rapid River factory on US 2, just east of Rapid River, and you can buy it there. But you can't buy it quite yet. Okay? I'd call over there and make sure they actually are producing it before you do that. Johnny, good evening, buddy. How are you? Are you up north golfing or are you home now? Did you have fun? Thank you, Dave. The knife isn't just a knife. It's about the person who has done so much for the outdoors. That's a good point, Art Lewis. Broadcast legend, member of the Broadcasting Hall of Fame. Art has a knife very much like this, only his has green where mine has red. And he said if we combine the two, we'll be ready for Christmas. Not a bad idea. If Angler Quest has build your own boat, that would be an awesome live and your signature glare and the tunes. Thank you, Jerry. I think the knife looks great. And again, it's available for order right now. Go to rapidriverknifeworks.com where you can order it online. You might get this thing in as short as a week, but it might take till the first week in September too. So it's going to depend on how quickly things can be done. Tony said he never saw a boat on the South Shore Monday. You think Randy's telling us a story? Okay, so salmon fishing's on fire right now. I actually I don't know why I started using this word actually. It makes no sense. If I say I went to the boat and took the rods off, or I actually went to the boat and took the rods off, actually is just an extraneous word. So somehow I started getting actually in my mind. I'm trying to wean myself of it. So I went over to the marina yesterday, got on the boat, took all my rods off, took the nets off, started to take some of the gear off. Yes, Tony, Randy is fishing our water. Pastor, good evening, buddy. How are you? What do you think, Pastor? Did it turn out nice? Is that a nice looking knife? I know you're a knife guy. Turned out great, didn't it? Linda says, when you order online, they give you the option of shipping or pickup. Order now and they will contact you when it's ready. My brother is up that way this week. I'll tell him to swing by the factory. I just don't think that there will be any knives to pick up at the factory this week already. It did turn out nice, didn't it, Joe? Yeah, I think it's a nice looking knife. Okay, salmon fishing is on fire. I'm starting to take the gear off the Angler Quest. That Angler Quest is for sale. I'm not selling it, but the Angler Quest is for sale. If you are interested, send me an email to mike@mikeaveryoutdoors.com. mike@mikeaveryoutdoors.com. I will tell you this, that it's being offered at a very good price. Very good price. So if you're interested in a nice Angler Quest like that, I might have just what you need. I'm getting ready for my bear hunt, which involved going to Jay's, picking up my crossbow. I've talked about this before, but just a reminder, if you are shooting a crossbow, especially one of the high-tech, modern, high-powered crossbows, the very fast ones, you need to keep an eye on the cables and the string. The manufacturers, most of them recommend that you swap those out every 2 years. I am finding with the amount that I shoot, and I don't shoot a lot, maybe more than the average crossbow shooter. The first year I had the bow, we had to swap it out twice from the spring turkey season to the fall deer season, because I was bear hunting in the middle of it too. And since then now we've had to swap them out every year, and it's not inexpensive. By the time you get cables, string, and labor, you're looking at about depending on where you go, $150. So when you buy one of these new crossbows, keep in mind that there is maintenance that is highly recommended. I would say even mandatory, right? Because you don't want this thing with all this energy stored in front of you to blow up in your face. So the bow, Thermacell, I will make sure I have a bunch of Thermacell pads and a bunch of Thermacell, the mini butane tanks. Thermacell, you could not bear hunt in Ontario in August if you did not have a Thermacell. I will be using a Primal Wraith 270 see-through blind. I was telling a story this morning about, unfortunately, Primal is not the company that it was before. Primal has gone through some changes, and Primal Outdoors no longer exists. The products are still out there. The designs are still there. There are efforts to reshape the company and bring it back. I hope they do, because I love their products and I love the people in the company. So, but I will be using a Wraith 270 see-through ground blind. Marty, still smoky and hot, but soon cooler temps will get us all excited for fall hunting. Yes, they will. Still have one of Chris's fillet knives, doing a great job. That was when he first started getting his business, started small little shops, great guy and family. He was telling me the story today, Marty. He's actually, he is on the radio show this week as my first guest. In fact, I'll tell you who's on the show. We start out with Chris Durson, who is the owner, the man behind Rapid River Knives. We talk about this knife right here. We talk about my signature Rapid River knife, how it's made, what you can expect from this knife, how you maintain it. And Tony says, hey, are the keys in the Angler Quest? I may take it for a test drive. Yes, Tony, the keys are in her. The keys are right there. The keys are in the helm station. You will have to turn the main battery power switch on. I'm not going to tell you where it is, but you can easily find it. But the keys are there, Tony. Take her for a ride. And then Andrew Cumtus, who is the guy behind Outdoor Driven, joins me to talk about that. Second hour, Mike Smith of Offshore Account. Now, Mike is a guy who I met through my son, James. He's a good friend of James. He's turning into a friend of mine. James and my granddaughter Addison were fishing with Mike Smith out of Manistee, or Ludington, Manistee, earlier this week, and they did real well. So I have Mike on the show to talk about salmon fishing. Then Corey Kovacs from the Michigan DNR on a study they are involved with Lake Superior brown trout. They're doing genetics testing to see what strain of brown trout they should plant in Lake Superior. So, you talk about the DNR using your money for a good source. I mean, this is one that to me is like, okay, this this has a positive impact on anglers. I think something like this is wonderful. Then Corporal Doug Hermanson from the DNR talks about where you can find hunter safety classes this year. I'm getting a lot of questions from people. Where can I find a hunter safety class? Where can I find a hunter safety class? Do a Google search, or any search engine. Search Michigan hunter safety classes, and it'll take you to a website. And from that website, you can either do the online testing, or if there are any openings at the in-person classes around the state, it'll make you aware of those. It's a clearinghouse for all things hunter education. Keep in mind, if your kids do an online hunter safety class, they will still have to do an in-person test. So that's still part of the process. And in our third hour, Adam Lewis from Deer IQ helps us get ready for the fall deer hunting season. He's in Ohio. I almost said he's actually in Ohio. He's in Ohio as I'm talking to him, and he's prepping trees for hunts. Chris, and then we wrap it all up with Wild Game Chef Extraordinaire Dixie Dave Miner. This time it is salmon. It's a salmon recipe, but he puts vodka in it too. I can't think of it. Salmon with vodka. Catfish are fun, Chris. I don't care if I never catch another one. And I certainly don't care if I never fillet another one, but catfish are fun to catch. They're pretty hard on your flicker minnows, though. Okay, what else? I keep going back to this. Chris Durson and crew did a wonderful job. You can order this knife right now. If you go to rapidriverknifeworks.com, that's rapidriverknifeworks.com, you can order this knife from the front page of the website. It is not an inexpensive knife, but this is a knife that is guaranteed for life. It's going to last you for a lifetime, and the money goes for a good cause. $225. which is not out of line for what the high-end Rapid River knives are. $225 for this knife, plus shipping, plus tax. Chris is not making a dime on the knife. I'm not making a dime on the knife. All of the proceeds are going to Outdoor Driven to get first responders and vets involved in outdoor adventures to help them deal with the stress they've accumulated over the years. Doesn't get any better than that, does it? If you were not here right when I got started, right off the bat, I would encourage you to go back and look at the video. I have a special guest. I have a co-host. His name is Bodie. He is my youngest grandson. I call him Bob Bob. He joined me. It's pretty cool. Jeff knows Doug. Doug Hermanson is a great guy, level-headed, common sense kind of a person, at least used to be when I worked around him at the start of his career. I don't know Doug other than talking to him on the show today, but if you say he is, Jeff, I will back that up. Johnny Bowler, the Bear Whisperer. Sorry, I'm out on the pontoon. What are you doing, Bowler? Are you just screwing around, taking it easy, drinking beer, and soaking in the sunshine till you start baiting bears? And by the way, Johnny, this knife right here, I do not have to use this to skin a bear or gut a bear in White River next week because my guide will do it for me. Right? If I was hunting with you, Johnny Bowler, for $10,000, you'd think that you'd gut my bear and drag my bear. I had to gut that bear. I had to drag it 300, well, it was probably like half a mile uphill in the swamp. Johnny's drinking Coors Lights. Johnny. I would say that I'm going to have a Makers as soon as I get down here, but I'm not. I got about an hour and 45-minute drive. Yes, that's exactly what I paid for the knife that I bought. $250 and 50 cents. I think that's optimistic, Art. When I talked to Chris today, they were starting to make knives now. Chris did tell me that it's his goal to get these knives in the hands of customers as soon as possible, but I don't want to create unrealistic expectations. So if you order a knife right now at RapidRiverKnifeWorks.com, figure on it, assume it's going to be early September, and then if you get it early, then it's just a bonus, right? Yes, $250, $12 tax, $13.50 shipping, yes. Bring it the next time you come and get it bloody. The next time I hunt with you, Johnny, I'm not even bringing a knife. Well, I will. I'll have a Rapid River in my pocket, as I always do. This is almost too pretty to get dirty. If you told that to Chris Durson, he would roll over. He says, I don't care if you've got a custom knife, if you've got the Avery knife, if you have a woolly mammoth knife like I have. He said, use them. Rapid River knives are designed to be used. Hey, Mike, good evening, buddy. How are you? Johnny says, I'll be ordering. Thank you, Jeff. I mean, it's a little early to start thinking about Christmas, but they would be outstanding Christmas presents. In fact, my oldest grandson, Trent, said, hey, Grandpa, I really like that knife. And I said, do you want one? He said, I can't afford it. I said, do you want it for an early Christmas present? He said, yeah. So I hear you. Doug DeWise will be there so he can help me out because Johnny Bowler sure isn't. Johnny. What else? I'm probably going to wrap this up a little bit early tonight just because I'm not at my house. I'm not in the basement of my office. We're downstate at my daughter's house. That's why we had Bodie, Bob joining me earlier. So I've got about an hour and 45-minute to drive, so I'm probably going to wrap this up a little bit early. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. When people say, God bless you, may God be with you, that means a lot to me. Linda says, ready in 5+ days. It says 482 in stock, clarifying that's the limit amount available. It means, Linda, that this morning that counter, or yesterday that counter started at 500, which means we've sold 18 of the knives and it just went live today. So I think that's pretty good. Jason, buddy, good evening. How are you? I've been on the road, and now I'm down at Shelby's house, my daughter's house, so I have not had a chance to look at your email yet, but I will. You know I love bear pictures. All right, Lee, appreciate that. Johnny says, next time you get a tag, it'll be $10,000 and you'll walk to the blind. Steven, I know I order you a phone. I owe you a phone call. I get it. And I will. It's just things are a little crazy right now. I did get your email. Yes, I just haven't responded yet. I apologize. And it might be a few more days. Okay, one last time. This knife right here is now available. This is the prototype. The actual knife will have a smaller signature, and here on the bolster, it'll say limited edition. It won't have a number on it. We decided not to number them. The thinking is, Chris said, yeah, if you put numbers on knives, the first 20 of them are really cool, and then you get people who get like 50, 55, 60, and it's not so cool anymore. But if you just put limited edition, which is what this knife is, then it's cool, right? Thank you, Linda. Appreciate. Yeah, Steve, I got it. Stephen, I did get it. Yes, I did. Thank you for that. Again, RapidRiverKnifeWorks.com. You cannot use the promo code. The promo code is going to change from Avery15 to Mike Avery15. So I would hold off right now. If you're going to order something other than this knife that you can use the promo code on, hold off for a few days till that gets in the system, till that gets worked out. RapidRiverKnifeWorks.com, RapidRiverKnifeWorks.com. I certainly will do that. He's just a little lover.
Oh, my Avery, master of the wild, your stories and laughter keep us beguiled. Every fish that you catch, every heart you embrace brings us closer to nature's grace.
There it is. My name is Mike Avery. This is Wednesday Night Live. Not in my home studio. Downstate, getting ready to head back to the house. When I get back to the house, I will pour myself a Big Maker's. Thank you, TJ. All right, my friends, have a great night. If you're interested in that knife, I would encourage you to check it out. RapidRiverKnifeWorks.com, RapidRiverKnifeWorks.com. Money goes for a good cause. Thank you for joining me tonight. Thanks for letting Bodie join me tonight. Have a good night, my friends. We'll see you next week.